evening, friends. Happy Monday. Welcome to part 2 in our 3-part series of creating a tarot tube or tarot YouTube channel, or a YouTube channel that's tarot related, or however, which way you want to say that. This is about how I managed my anxiety. And whether you are thinking of starting a tarot channel on YouTube, whether you deal with anxiety, or whether you're just stopping by to say hi, I hope that you will find this helpful in some form or fashion. Part 1 was my story and how my channel came to be. And part 2 is about how I manage my anxiety, or try to. And part 3 will be a Q&A. So, you have questions about equipment, or, YouTube, or, StreamYard, or any of those kind of things. Bring those questions for part 3, and I'll do my best to answer them. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate all of you. So let's start by jumping right in. First of all, I have diagnosed anxiety panic disorder and depression. I've been diagnosed with that for almost 11 years now, 11 and a half years. And one of the things that most people will notice is that when I come live, I'm always chewing gum. I do that as a coping mechanism. Chewing gum is a way. It's a proven statistic that it helps to improve your ability to concentrate, and it keeps me calm. Sometimes the idea of, turning that camera light on and sort of the vulnerability of that will make me anxious. Because I've had anxiety for such a long time, it's not, that anxious feeling is nothing new to me, and it's not like I'm going to be in a panic attack. It's just, I'm feeling a little elevated, like, my heart's racing just a little bit. I feel a little fidgety. And so I will do things to help me calm down. And it became a coping mechanism, as I said, that wherever I would go or whatever I would do that would, make me feel nervous, I would pop a piece of gum in my mouth as a sort of preventative measure. So I wanted to get that out of the way, because lots of people probably wonder or think maybe that, it's rude because I chew gum. But that's why I do it. And now my eye's twitching, so there you go. There's that. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Appreciate all of you. Gypsy JJ, Tortoise Shell Moon, Kathy. Ron, my friend, how are you? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Happy Labor Day to all that are celebrating. Debbie, thank you for being here. Ivana Intuitive, Gerald. Hello, hello, hello. Rose Blue. Fleck. Nancy, Crohn's Intuition. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate all of you so very much. All right, so here we go. No, but this is my version, Rose. So I want to start off by saying, and I'm going to keep this related to like the channel, right? But I don't want anyone to think that if you're not trying to start a tarot channel, or you don't have a tarot channel, that you can't follow some of this, or that it won't resonate with you. The first thing I want to start off by saying, or the second thing I want to start off by saying, is how much I truly dislike having to beg people to subscribe to my channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I can't stand it. I really don't like it. I feel like if you're here and it resonates, or you want to spend time here, that you'll just do that, because that's what I do. I don't know where it came up. I don't know who said it. I don't know how it got started, but it seems to be like a thing, is, specifically in this community, that we feel like we need to keep saying this to people. and it bothers me greatly. I say it because that's what I'm supposed to say. Says who? Don't know. And my eye is twitching. I am nervous about this particular portion of the evening more than any of the other portions. Part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 2 is the one that makes me nervous because I don't want this to come across in a negative way. I want to be able to express myself in a way that makes sense, and that is being honest and authentic. But I have not had the greatest experience here on YouTube with my tarot channel. And there have been many a times where I have wanted to throw in the towel and walk away. As recently as, like yesterday. So I'm going to try and do this in a way that makes sense, but I can't promise you that I'm not going to like go all over the place. So, get out your notepad and try to follow the bouncing ball if you don't mind. So, number 1, when you have anxiety panic disorder, and I'm not using it as an excuse, this is the truth. When your anxiety is high, you oftentimes have difficulty concentrating and focusing. You can develop periods of paranoia, having anxiety in general. And when I say general, I mean having the diagnosed anxiety, but just going about my everyday business. You already feel like people are placing judgment on you, that people are pointing their fingers at you, that they've labeled you. People don't understand that when I say I'm anxious, that it means what it means versus what their anxious means. Their anxious is perhaps they've had a bad day at the office, or their kiddos, gave them a hard time, or, they had like a horrible commute home from work. That's not anxiety to me. My anxiety is my heart racing, my throat closing up, my stomach being upset, feeling like I'm going to pass out, my heart racing so bad that it causes me to chill and sweat all at the same time, my teeth gripping together so tightly that I can't actually get words out of my mouth, my eye twitching, consistently. Literally feeling like I'm going to go into a panic attack at any moment. That is my anxiety. So you do things to protect yourself, right? You have all these coping mechanisms that you do to protect yourself, to just help you be able to navigate a regular day. And I do all of those things to, which nobody really needs to know about. And I've shared those in different parts and parcels of, different programs that we've done here. But the reason why I mention that is because I came here with this channel with an understanding that obviously was not at all the way that it was going to be. I put my heart and my soul in it. I put my face on it. And I put my heart out there in terms of sharing my story, and received much critical, negative energy, vibrations, comments, energy, whatever you want to call it. It was really, really hard to navigate. Really, really hard to navigate. There are many times when I feel left out or that I don't fit in. I have had countless friendships or working relationships that have gone by the wayside. I've had many moments where I don't feel a part of this community. I don't feel accepted. I don't feel supported. And the whole point of me mentioning all of that is because I don't know if that's the truth or if that's my anxiety and just what I have learned to deal with, right? People can't handle someone who is negative. People can't handle someone who is, like a bouncing ball all the time. It's difficult for them. People also don't understand that I don't see things in the same way that they do. And this is not a fault thing or a blame thing, so I don't want anyone to misunderstand where I'm going. I'm just saying, like, this is my experience, right? And you need to develop a thick skin if you're going to have a channel here on YouTube. Like, if you hear nothing else tonight, hear that. We get hit with all kinds of comments, all kinds. Sometimes they're not even intended to be like negative, but they're coming at you. You wear too much makeup, change your lighting. Oh, your cat jumped in middle of the screen, turn the volume up, turn the volume down. Don't smoke on your channel, do this, don't do that. Don't say out loud that you have anxiety. None of the comments, I believe that none of the comments are meant to be hurtful, but they can be hurtful, right? I'm just a person. I'm just a regular, everyday person who is trying to navigate my life, who is trying to navigate this channel, who is trying to, create a space where we feel like we're supported and we're loved and that we feel safe enough to do that. And that's it. That's it. That's all. I'm not a professional, I don't work for CNN, you know what I mean? I'm not a technical genius by any stretch of the imagination. Friends, listen, we didn't have computers in my day and age because I'm old as dirt. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm trying to get at is this. I navigated this space, especially in the beginning, in a very naive way, thinking that we were all on the same playing field and that everyone was like one big happy family, and like it would just be like that. It's not just like that. YouTube is set up like a competition, right? How many likes do you have? How many thumbs up do you have? How many comments did you get? How many subscribers do you have? That is YouTube. That's the algorithm. So you jump in with them, whether you intended to or you did not intend to. That's what you do. You jump right into that pool, right? Swim around with those sharks, and now you're doing the same thing, right? I got to get this and I got to have that view, and you develop a sense of competition with people, whether you mean it or you don't mean it. I'd like to think that there is no competition because we're all unique. We all offer different approaches and different specialties or different gifts or whatever the case may be. But I also know that, not everyone thinks the same way that I do, right? And God help us, we wouldn't want that. But that has been a real challenge for me to navigate, is keeping my head above water, keeping my boundaries up so that I don't take on any of that negativity. For example, I'm going to share a story with you, and I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to start to cry. So hope I don't trigger anybody. And thank you, Nancy, for saying that, and Ron. I am reading your comments. You guys are awesome. And I know that you know exactly what I mean, Ron. You and I have shared many backstage moments where we have helped and supported and shared with each other. And I'm so grateful that I have you in you know, you've got my back. That's how I feel. You're my friend, and I know that I can trust you and share things with you. And I'm so grateful for that. That's really important as a point to make, is to make sure that you have a really supportive person that can listen to you in these moments, because it can be very challenging. You know, it's no different than being at work and you feel like everyone's out to get you kind of idea. There are those moments, friends. And all right, so yep, I got a whole box full of Rose. So, you know, I had said in part 1 that I want my channel to be successful. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know what that means. I guess I'll know when I get there. Do you know what I mean? Personal goal that I set for myself was to reach 500 subscribers. And when I reached 500 subscribers, well, one of the reasons was because when I started, you needed 500 subscribers to get your community page. If you got your community page, it gives you, you know, like a leg up that you could, you know, get your message out and tell people when a show was coming up, or say hi, or Merry Christmas, or whatever it might be, right? And so I was trying to get to 500 subscribers. And I will never forget this day. Never forget it. I remember what I was wearing. I woke up on a Saturday morning and I saw that I had 506 subscribers. And I was so excited. So happy, overjoyed, that I decided to pop on live and say thank you. And so I popped on live and I started saying thank you to everybody. And we were laughing and we were crying and we were remembering, you know, I was like, this person does this all the time and that person does that, and I can always count on this person for this reason. And it was a total love fest. It was amazing. And I got off of that live and I felt like literally like I felt like Wonder Woman. I felt like I could leap buildings, you know. Again, tying this back into my anxiety. I never thought I was going to make it to another birthday. So for me to be sitting here in this position with the outpouring of love and support and feeling so euphoric was nothing short of a miracle. A couple of hours later, I don't know if someone had left a comment or something. And when I went into my YouTube studio, which is the, you know, the place that all content creators go, where they see all their numbers and their stats and all that kind of stuff. And that's where I go to answer all my comments, because it's just easier that way for me. What you guys need to understand is that when you open up your YouTube studio, and I'm talking on my PC, I don't do it on a phone. And all you people that operate on a phone, I don't understand how you do it. Hi, Marina, how you doing? The biggest number that you see is your subscriber numbers. And right below that is your hours watched. And right below that is your views. And there it was, 489. So a few hours earlier, I had 506. And I got on the air and thanked and cried and shared the love And I got off of that live and I went to 489. I cannot tell you what that did to me. I cannot explain in a way that I feel that I would do it justice. To say that I felt like the rug had been pulled out from under me, it was a total tower moment. My biggest fear is that I am doing so well in terms of navigating my anxiety and coping with my anxiety that something will happen and I will slide backwards. And because I have fought it for so long and fought it hard for so long, I worry every day. I mean, that fear is real for me, that I will not have the strength to conquer it again if I need to. So in that moment, when I'm staring at that big number, 489, I had to make a decision. Was I going to fall apart, or was I going to pick myself up, dust myself off, and keep going? And I decided, no, I wasn't going to give up. I stayed between 489 and 494 for about a month. That needle would not move no matter what I did. And because I am who I am, I threw myself into it. I mean, I was on here all the flippin' time. I was pumping content out. If you knew how much work goes into starting a channel, and I am not speaking for everyone, I just know that this is my experience and that's what I'm talking about. If I told you that I spend on average between 6 to 8 hours every single weekend working on my schedule, working on my little thumbnails, working on my commercials, as I lovingly refer to them, pumping out all the pre-recorded videos, putting them in YouTube, that would be probably a gross understatement. It's probably more than that. I don't regret it. I don't think badly about it. I enjoy it. I love it. So don't misunderstand that point. I'm just saying there's a lot of work that goes into it. And so I sat back here in my office and just poured my heart and my soul into it and just kept pumping it out and pushing it out and doing whatever I thought I could do to make that better. And I convinced myself, oh, the numbers will come back, the numbers will come back, the numbers will come back, the numbers will come back. It took so long for that number to move past the 500 mark that, again, that I forgot that I was even waiting for it to turn over, if that makes any sense at all. Now, I don't want anyone to think that my whole entire experience here has been negative, because that is not at all the case. I have had some of the most amazing moments of my life, truly, on this channel. My anxiety has gone from a place of me just being able to cope, taking it day by day, sometimes hour by hour, to when I do have a bad day and my anxiety is really high, I'm kind of like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? Because that isn't my normal anymore. I mean, hear that. It's not my normal anymore. My fear, my anxiety, it's back there somewhere. I never thought I would ever. I mean, I hoped with everything in me, but I never thought that I would ever get to that spot. It seemed like the unreachable dream. but I did it. I got there. And it's because of this channel that I got there. It's because of my relationship with spirit. It's because of all of the people that support me that I was able to get here. Right? Having this channel has taught me to really understand what being grateful is about. This channel has taught me what it means to come from a place of love and kindness. This channel has taught me to trust myself. To trust myself. Which I hadn't done in a very long time because I didn't trust myself because I was operating from a place of fear due to my anxiety. This channel has got me out of the house. I have self-isolated for like almost 5 years. This channel helped me to get out of my own home. Do you understand what that means? To step foot outside and be amongst everyone else. And not because of the pandemic, but because I was too scared to leave my home. I thought my home was my safe spot. So it's done a lot of really positive things. But then there's been a lot of not so positive things. And trying to maintain that healthy balance has proven to be very challenging for me. And if you are considering starting a channel, whether you have diagnosed anxiety or you don't, please know that I think that it's very important that you set up boundaries. It is also important to keep your expectations in check. It's important to check in with yourself. If it's getting too much, back up. Put some boundaries up. You can only give what you've got to give. And so when your well feels like it's starting to empty, you need to pay attention to that. Because this is very much an energy exchange, specifically when it comes to tarot channels, right? This is very much an energy exchange between me and you guys in the chat. And it won't work if one of us is depleted, if one of us is down, if one of us is ugh, you know what I mean? It won't work the way that it should. It won't be the beautiful, amazing experience that we hope it's going to be if one of us isn't doing our part or isn't feeling, our highest and best self. It's not going to work properly. There are a lot of haters. There are a lot of naysayers. There are a lot of people that are broken. Truly, truly broken. Sometimes trying to explain yourself in the chat, for example. You've got 200 characters, go. Really? How am I supposed to say how I really feel in 200 characters? Me on the screen. I'm worried about, how it's going to feel or how it's going to look, or like I might trigger somebody. I want to say it so bad, but I'm like, ooh. And then the opposite can be true, that sometimes you just start talking and you forget that there's a little green light on that thing. I feel like we're on our own little Zoom call over here. I forget that there's billions of people around the world that could be watching this. Not that I have a billion people watching me, but you know what I'm saying. So you really need to protect yourself. You need to put your boundaries up, and you really need to be responsible with what you're willing to express and to share, right? I think that I have like like not a set of rules, but I guess a set of ethics that I developed for myself way in the beginning, and I won't cross those lines. I think that's been really, really helpful to me that I set those up. Hi, Linda. It's good to see you. Hi, greeter. Hugs, my friend. We've all been there, right? We've all been to the office where, there's that person, right? We've all been in high school or school, college, whatever, where there's been that person or persons like that person. I can't stand it when someone else is doing good things. Can't stand it when someone's doing well. Got to get in there and ruin it. We can't let those people deter us from being successful, from reaching our goal. Other people's opinions are just that, their opinions. It's got nothing to do with me. That's on them, not on me. I try to take it in stride. But there have been many times, if I was being honest, along this journey that I have wanted to throw in the towel and just simply say, I cannot. I can't do it. I just can't. I just can't do it anymore. Why do I keep coming back? Because of you guys. Because of me. I made a promise that I was going to do my part, and you keep showing up. So together, I keep showing up. The truth of the matter is that what I mean by that is this. One thing will happen, two things will happen, three things will happen, and you're like, oh my God, why do I do this? Why do I even bother, right? I get all negative. That's when my anxiety is at its peak, right? And I'm like, this sucks. This sucks. It's horrible. It's awful. I can't do this anymore. Why am I putting myself through this? Blah, 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 blah. And then someone will send me an email and say, I just want you to know that what you're reading today really touched me, really helped me. Or someone will leave a comment and say, that really resonated with me, Kelly. Thank you so much for what you do for this community. Someone will pop in the chat and say, really appreciate what you do, Kelly. I need that validation because I'm a human being. And it's nice to know that you're being heard. It's nice to be acknowledged. It's nice to be thanked. And when those moments happen, it's like an instant reset. And then I know exactly what I need to do. I need to take myself to my happy place. I need to get in touch with myself. I need to reaffirm my ethics and listen to my heart. And my heart always leads me back here. This channel makes me feel whole. Whether that is right or whether that is wrong, that is the truth. What we do here at Dozen Cats has changed my life, as I alluded to in part 1. I can't articulate that. I can't put that into words. I am not in any way implying that I don't think that I have a life outside of this channel. But what we do here is special. And it's meaningful. And it's important. I would be totally fine if I closed this channel down tomorrow. You would be totally fine if I close this channel down tomorrow. But I would miss it. I would miss it so much. It'd be like cutting my bangs off. I don't want to. I want to keep showing up. I want to keep doing what I feel like I'm meant to do. I want to keep sharing this space with you. And I want to be able to navigate YouTube space in a way that is less stressful. And so I will continue to not allow myself to give up. You know what I mean? So I will continue to practice what I preach by standing up for myself and standing in my power and speaking my truth and setting my boundaries up and protecting myself when I need to. Those are my ethics. Those are my rules. That's how I rule. And I have to do that. Because you see, if I have to walk away, if I get to the point where I can't handle this anymore, it is not just about me, the person. It is somehow in my mind, it is a signal that my anxiety has won once again. My fear, my inability to be able to navigate life as a regular, normal, everyday person instead of operating from a place of fear, that won, because it undermined my confidence and my ability just to show up, right? And I can't have that. I can't. I will not do that. I have worked so hard to get to a point where I wake up every day and can't wait to see what happens, that I look forward to next week, that I'm planning a trip to the store or the park or whatever, that I want to leave my house. I want to see people. I look forward to my birthday. I don't feel like I'm finished. I have a future to look forward to. I'm excited. I can't do that. That is unacceptable to me. But again, boundaries. Boundaries. So I'm going to go back up in the comments because lots of people are sharing, and I want to make sure that we get everyone's opinions and thoughts here. Okay. Rose Blue says, I give hugs or try to make people laugh. I am not a reader, etc. like y'all. But you see, this is the point. This is a group effort. This isn't a single, it's just not me. I'm not like, this isn't Saturday Night Live, you know, like I'm not here to entertain you. We work together. That's the energetic exchange that I talked about before, right? It doesn't work without you guys. And each of you play your part. It's very much a machine. It's a mechanism, right? It's a working, living, breathing machine. Gypsy JJ is thanking Pisces Greeter for all of the hugs and the healings. Aw, you're so sweet. Kathy says, there's been a couple of times when I've subbed to a channel and then after time I realize I've been unsubscribed even though I've not done it. It's bizarre. It must suck for content creators. Yeah, it does. It does a lot. And I've done that too. I mean, I've had it happen to me many times. Linda says, if anyone doesn't know that I have not had internet for a few days because it needs repair, I'm hoping I will have it back in a couple of days. Oh, so sorry, Linda. It's the worst when you know, you go to like, oh, the internet's down. All of a sudden, it's like panic. It's like your hydro goes out. Rose says, I've learned things from many readers, have been helped. That's lovely. Gypsy JJ says, the truth is, Kelly, you are fantastic in every way to me. Oh, blessings, Gypsy JJ. Thank you. Ivana says, I agree, Kelly. It is special, meaningful, and important. I would miss it too. Yeah. Rose says, me also got to the point where I check my subs two times a month. YouTube is doing it. Yeah. Linda says, I'm glad that you still want to share your abilities on this channel because those like me see auras and I know you are real. Oh, blessings, Linda. That's very kind of you, my friend. Gypsy JJ says, precious words and gifts through you, Linda. Marina says, Kathy, there is a reason it happens. Kathy, and it has nothing to do with you. YouTube drops new subscribers if you sub during a chat rather than on the creator's homepage. Yeah. Marina did a live about this the other day where she talked about this. And if you've been in a chat where other people are putting links in the chat, you know, for other rooms other than maybe the person whose room you're in or a guest that's on the show with them, and you click on that and subscribe, apparently those are being taken away after a couple of weeks. I'm just going to say, you know, for entertainment purposes only, I don't claim to understand YouTube's algorithms. I have heard so many theories as to why this happens and why it doesn't happen and whose fault it is or whatever. I don't care. Like, honestly, don't care. It's confusing to me. I just want it to stop because it is, it's heartbreaking, really. You know, I get on here and I'm like, you know, please like, share, subscribe, and, you know, please check your subscriptions because, you know, this one unsubscribes you, or maybe you didn't hit the bell or whatever, or someone will come into the chat and say, you know, oh, you're live and I missed all of it. I just got the notification out. Like, I'm not in control of any of that stuff. I'm just Kelly. I'm just, you know, doing my thing. I don't understand it. I don't know. I just know that it's, you know, it can really mess with you. It can really mess with you if you allow it to. And, you know, that leads us back to our starting point of when you have a channel, I don't care what your reason is. I don't care what your niche is. I don't care what you're throwing cards on, or even if you throw cards. I mean, maybe you, I don't know, maybe you're a refrigerator repair person and you decide to start a channel. Whatever your channel is about means nothing in terms of what I'm about to say. YouTube is based on a competition. That is how it is. Okay? I'm going to share something with you guys. Now, when you go into your YouTube studio, I'm going to show you mine, okay? Watch this. Okay, can you guys see that okay? Now, other than my icon right here, the biggest thing that you can see on that page is my number of subscribers. I have been pumping content out like a mad person. I have watched all the videos that there are to watch on the how to get more subscribers and the how to do this and the how to do that. And I have used all of the right hashtags and all of the right whatevers. I say all the right things. I promote it all over the darn place. I even uploaded one of those, that vidIQ thing that was supposed to, you know, tell me what titles to use and, you know, if I'm SEO compliant. I don't even know what the heck that means, but I was doing all the things that I thought I was supposed to do. And I have been dropping subscribers literally like flies. Now, when you open up this YouTube studio, as I do every single day, because I was doing those daily videos every single day, right? I see this every single day. That's the first thing that I see as soon as I go to upload a video or I answer my comments, because I do that through the YouTube studio. That's what I'm looking at. Now, what does that say? You suck. That's what that says. You suck, Kelly. Nobody wants to listen to you, Kelly. If you want to be negative about it. If perhaps you have a bad day, or you have, anxiety or low self-esteem or things like that. That can be so detrimental to your health. Now, lots of readers will say, don't worry about it, don't care about it, don't pay any attention to it. Sure, okay. Sunday night, you make a roast beef and you're like, I really put my effort into it. Last Tuesday you made an apple pie, whatever it is, and you put your heart and your soul in it. You painted a picture, you crocheted something, whatever you did, and you're really proud of it. Maybe you grew a big tomato plant and you're really proud of it. You feel like you did a good job. You want people to say, wow, that's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. Now imagine if you walked out and your tomato plant had died. Just, you'd be like, oh! I mean, you're like, oh my God. Right? Or you bake a cake and it looks really good, and you leave it to cool, and you come out and like the whole center is like caved in, and you're like, oh. And then think about all the work that you need to do to yourself so that you don't react in that moment in a negative way, that I know exactly what I need to do. In the case of the plant, I'm going to get down on my hands and knees and I'm going to talk to that plant. I'm going to give it some fertilizer. I'm going to talk to it. I'm going to like dust all of its leaves. I'm going to give it like a little leaf massage. I'm going to tell it how much I love it and how much I can't wait to see it bloom and show me all of its beautiful colors and share its amazing fragrance with me. Or in the case of the cake, you could cry and you could say, oh my God, there's like 15 people coming over and this is for Sally's birthday, and like the whole birthday party is going to be ruined because this cake looks terrible. What am I going to do? Poor Sally's going to be heartbroken. Her birthday is going to be ruined because this cake did not turn out. In both of those scenarios, the person thinking those thoughts has done that to themselves. It is a glass half full or a glass half empty. But when you have anxiety, you have to actually work to not allow your mind to think like that, because you already reside in a negative headspace 98% of the time. And so what I'm trying to say is that there are days when my anxiety gets the better of me. When I would go into the YouTube studio, for example, to upload, tomorrow's reading or today's reading or whatever, or answer your comments and be like, God, like whatever. I try not to care, but it's hard to navigate. And so the whole point of this conversation was my anxiety and how that, affects me running my channel. If you want to start a channel, those things are going to happen to you, and you need to be able to navigate those. The numbers don't mean a thing in terms of who you are, what your message is, how accurate you are, how honest you are. They don't mean a thing. They don't mean a thing, because we've all seen those channels, friends. We have all seen those channels, right? We've all seen them. We've all seen those channels where the numbers are like up there and you're like, how? What matters is what's in here. I know I'm a good person. I know I'm genuine. I know I'm authentic. I know I'm trying hard, and I know I'm doing it for the right reasons. And yes, I truly believe that the people that are meant to hear will come. Some days that's really hard to hold on to. I'm not going to lie, because I am a human being. I have spent thousands of dollars because, unlike most people in this community, remember in part one, I said I don't have any cards when I started this channel. I had to purchase, you know, equipment and cards and StreamYard and etc. And some days I need to really think about how much I'm putting into this to be able to create those healthy balances and healthy boundaries in my life. And so my best advice to anyone who wants to start a channel or who already has a channel is to make sure that you're checking in with yourself, listening to your heart, and letting that navigate your path. If you need to take a step back, take a step back. If you need to put some boundaries up to protect yourself, go ahead. Don't work with people that you don't want to work with. Don't take other people's opinions to heart because they are their opinions. It says it's more about them than it is about you, right? I also want to say that it is so important. It is so important. And I think I mentioned this earlier, to have that that supportive person that you know that you can trust, that you know that you can rely on, that isn't going to share it with others, that you can bounce these things off of, say how you really feel without fear of retribution or retaliation, because that's real too, your friends. And I am lucky, my husband is a great sense of support to me, as you all know. And I have other people that I hold in that same sort of category. And so what I'm trying to say to you is this, right? Don't shy away from it, but let your stress or your anxiety be your guide. When you get stressed, that is not how it should be, and so you should pay attention to that, right? You should take yourself, to your journal and journal about why you feel the way that you do, and then try to work with it rather than resisting it, because the more you work to resist it, the more it comes through on the, like this face right here. She can't lie to you. Nope, can't. It's written all over my face, how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, right? Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I'm not, it is a major bone of contention with me, but the idea for the purposes of this particular moment was to share that with you, because it can really trip you up if you let it. The idea is, just like anything else in your life, this is an obstacle, right? We say here all the time, or I say here all the time on the channel, think of yourself back in the day as the bumper car, right? Remember the bumper car with the rubber band around it and the big long electrical pole where you smash into each other? Remember those bumper cars? So imagine yourself in the bumper car with this big band of rubber around you. That rubber is meant to protect you, allow you to bounce back from things, right? So you can head right for that, head right for it. Head right for the iceberg. But that rubber is going to bounce you back a little bit. It's how you handle the recovery of that moment that is going to set you forward or set you backward, right? Are you going to put some boundaries up and protect yourself and stay away from those things that trigger you or that upset you or cause you stress or whatever? Or are you going to be like, that's okay, I'm going to hit it twice as hard the next time? However you do it is totally you. Like, it's up to you. And I don't think that's a right way, and I don't think there's a wrong way. I think it's an individual thing, and I don't think that anyone should be punished or put down or criticized, because you do you. Do you know what I'm saying? You do you. Oh, it is. It's most definitely, Cheyenne, most definitely disheartening when the algorithm flags. I mean, you know what I'm going to say to that comment? Okay. And I wasn't planning on sharing this, but I'll share this with you. Okay. So whether most of you know it or not, I have another channel. So it was originally Circle of Friends. It's now Kat's Royal Oracle Readings. And I only do oracle readings on that channel. I don't do any tarot readings, and I have not done a live. I did a reading the other day on that channel that has like 80 videos on it. And it has 179 subscribers. Did a reading the other day, what is coming up or what's ahead in the month of September. I had 142 views on that reading. 142. I have never, in the whole time I have had this channel, in the 890 some odd videos that I have done, ever had a view or a reading that had that many views on it. Ever. That is an eye-opener, if it's nothing else. What does it mean? I don't know what it means. This channel isn't moving. The needle is not moving at all. It has been permanently stuck, like I said in part 1, for about a month. It is not moving at all. That other channel, I hadn't been creating any content for a while, and then I created some content again, and boom. So the point that I'm trying to make is this. Like I said in the beginning, if you keep your expectations in check and you don't think that you're going to come here and get 700,000 subscribers immediately, then you're not going to be disappointed. If you come here and don't think that, you're going to be YouTube famous, you're not going to be disappointed. And I guess what I'm trying to say is this: don't ever, limit yourself. Don't not want to shoot for the stars, because you deserve to shoot for the stars, but don't get upset when it doesn't happen the way that you think that it's supposed to happen, right? You got to put the work in, you got to put the effort in. And I will continue to put in the work and put in the effort, because when I take a step back and I leave my hurt feelings behind, and I think about it in this way, my numbers are still improving. I'm still moving forward. I still feel really good about what I'm doing. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want anyone to take this like negative, because that's not the way that this was intended. My point in bringing this up is that when you have a channel, there is a lot of ebbs and flows. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't even think about, and a lot of things that people don't even, like, it doesn't even cross their mind. Doesn't even cross their mind. Most people think anxiety is like, ooh, I hit the live button and like, oh, my computer shut down. I had all kinds of technical problems and I couldn't click on the comments. And that's real. That's really stressful, for sure. But that's not my stressful. My stressful is a whole other thing. If you understand what I mean. Sure, Linda. I think my husband put it in there. It's let me see if I got it here. Whoops, wrong page. Got my sticky notes out, friends. You know how I love my sticky notes. There you go. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you, Ron. So, what I'm trying to say is this. Be true to who you are. Check in with yourself. Write yourself like a little code of ethics, or, you know, some rules, some regulations, some things, something like a guide, you know, something that you can just sort of navigate for your own self. Make sure that you put up boundaries when you need to. And that goes with anything. I don't care where you are. I don't care where you work. I don't care what stage. Maybe it's your crazy neighbor, right? Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's the guy at the grocery store. You know, maybe it's the mail carrier, right? Maybe it's the lady at the office. It doesn't matter. You got to be true to who you are. You got to stand in your power. You got to stand in your truth. You got to keep it real. And when it gets too tough, you need to back up. You know, get in touch with yourself, regroup, refresh, and come out whichever way you want to, right? Thank you, my friend. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you got something out of it. I hope that it didn't come across negative or, distasteful, because that was not my intent. My intent was to explain a bit about how I navigate my diagnosed anxiety, but how I feel you could navigate anxiety in any situation, in any path. So I hope that was helpful in some way. I will be back at 8 o'clock for part number 3, which is all about a Q&A. So it's not me talking, it's you guys asking your questions. So bring them up, because I'm ready for you. Okay? So see you guys in a half an hour. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much for all of your participation, your kind words, your support, and your encouragement, because literally I couldn't have done this without you guys. So from me to you, until we see each other again, many blessings. Bye, everybody. Oh, I should mention before I go that on Thursday, I believe at 2 p.m. Eastern, Nancy Jean and I, on Nancy Jean's channel, and possibly mine, not sure, we haven't worked all the details out, we'll be doing some past life readings. So stay tuned for that. All right. And with that being said, see you in part 3.